Smith reporting in. I was told to leave a message if there were any updates on the creature that attacked Brooke. A strange group of people showed up at the lab today asking her some questions, as well as some of the security guards. They seem to also be interested in whatever we have going on here. I don't know if they got much more than we did, which was a description of what this thing looked like. Afterwards, they left, and I'm not sure where they're going, but I'll let you know if anything else comes up.
Until y'all walk out, Curtis is like, that was fast. Did y'all get everything you needed?
Hock just nods, like, yeah, I reckon so.
So, is that it?
Can you point us to the cafeteria?
Yeah, it's right this way. He takes a second to look at your badges and just nods. Double checking. Can I take you there? Yeah, I can take you there. And he leads you to a bit of a longer walk. It's kind of like a hospital cafeteria. There's like a couple options for food, but this is still kind of like a visitor area. Bart probably vaguely recognizes this from the tour. So far, you've mostly been in the places where school tours happen. There's like a handful of people sitting at different tables. So how do you guys go about finding out who you're looking for?
Can we just ask Curtis?
You can. Do you?
Curtis, can you tell us if one of these is Damien?
Why?
That's who we're supposed to interview next.
He's right over there. I'm gonna say Damien's just like getting ready to sit down at a table. He's just gotten his food and is sitting down to enjoy his lovely 30-minute lunch break.
Thank you. And Roz takes off.
With the stubby little legs.
Okay, yes, stubby little legs, but also because she's tiny, she can squeeze through people as they're walking through the cafeteria. So unfortunately for everybody else, she's going to arrive first.
Okay, and I'm guessing the rest of y'all follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Hock is running behind because so many people stop him, like, "Hey, Hock, how you doing? I got them hammers, that or whatever." And he's just trying really hard just to get through him. He's like, "Yeah, Curtis, all right," and it's just a couple seconds behind y'all.
So Roz takes the seat exactly across from Damien, puts her notebook up on the table and goes, "Hi, my name is Roz. How are you today?"
I'm doing well, thank you. I didn't realize there was a tour going on today.
Well, it is a tour of trying to find out what is going on. So I have a couple questions for you, Damien, because we're here to investigate what happened the other night that hurt Miss Brooke, so that we can stop it and protect all the people.
Do you have your notebook out already, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Is this for a journalism class or something?
No, a doctor, and she looks back. Dr. Whaley hired us to investigate what happened so that we can protect from the other creature, whatever the creature is. Whether it be just a wolf or maybe more extraterrestrial. Yes, Dr. Whaley sent us.
The eyebrow goes up real high when you mention extraterrestrial. And are they with you, pointing to the pack of people struggling to catch up?
Oh, I probably should have brought them with me. Yes, they are with me. We have Annabelle, and we have Bart and Hock. Everybody knows Hock. I probably didn't need to say that one.
Yeah, I know him. What did you roll?
I got another 6.
And that's with plus sharp?
And this is even a new set of dice. I keep rolling 2s. 2s and 2s.
I'd like to help out.
Do you have any abilities?
No. Though, we haven't talked about luck yet. I'm not ready to expend a luck, but we've not talked about luck yet.
No, we haven't.
At any time, I can mark luck to change a roll to a 12 or avoid all harm from an injury. What does the help out do? I've already forgotten.
I can roll plus cool and get you a +1 on your roll, so I could bump you up to a partial success.
All right. Give me some cool.
What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Because I want to roleplay this help and not just be like, I'm rolling the dice.
I want to ask him questions. I'm interviewing him.
All right. Hock sits down next to Roz and leans kind of across the table. And he goes, "Oh, look, bud, Roz, she ain't going to quit till you answer her questions." Fucking A, man. I'm going to mark experience again. I've got 3 experience now.
Doug, Doug.
Not only did I fail to help her, but I have actually exposed myself to danger and trouble as a result. So, like, maybe there was a very sharp knife on the counter.
Oh, no.
You stubbed your toe.
Mm-hmm.
I have to roll to see if a thing happens. It doesn't. It's fine.
Good.
If I got higher than a 3, y'all are about to get kicked out.
Oh,
I got a
that
3.
would have sucked.
No.
Guys.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
You notice him, like, eyebrow raised at you. Does Hock have weapons on him?
No, Hock definitely left all of his weapons back in the pawn shop. He's got a baseball bat in his truck, but that is it. Because he knows about the plant. He's not going to bring out weaponry out there.
You accidentally, when you were leaning forward, placed one of your hands on the handle of a knife in a way that looks very threatening. So he just kind of, like, leans back a little bit. There's a couple other security guards. He's just, like, glancing at them, but he's not doing anything right now. He's like, I'm not sure how I can help any of you. I think it might be best if y'all left. Does anyone want to try and salvage this?
I guess Bart can try to roll to manipulate someone to, like,
Yeah.
get him to stop. I have +0 to cool, so we'll just see. Seeing that, like, it's getting all weird, I'm like, hey, like, you know, we just got finished talking to Brooke, and, like, I heard you saved her, and, like, you were the one who chased away that thing, so we just wanted to hear, like, how you saved her. And that is an 8 +0.
Okay, so what does the 8 get you?
So that would be with manipulate someone. With a 7 and 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. And if you ask too much, they'll tell you what it would take for them to do it.
I think he's gonna look at you and ask, and why exactly are you interested in this?
And I think I, like, take, like, a hushed tone, and I'm like, cause, like, monsters usually make a place look bad, and my dad works here, and I don't want anything bad to happen to him.
He just kind of nods. What was the question you were asking again?
The question was just, like, I heard you saved her. What happened with the thing that attacked Brooke?
You see him finally start to relax a bit, though he's still eyeing Hock and Braz a little warily, because dude just threatened him with a knife, possibly?
The Hock was like, put his hands up real fast and like backed away from the knife when he realized what it looked like.
My bad.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we've had strange things in the woods before, and there have been some rumors of bigger ones. I didn't think anything of it, and Brooke was leaving late after some meeting. We stopped and chatted a bit. She was talking about some parts of a project were taking longer, and she walked to her car. I was checking the security cameras, and I just heard a growl and a scream, and I ran over to see what was happening and saw this thing kind of looked like a shadow, but solid, and just kind of hopped off of her and left. Nothing else weird happened that night, but still have no idea what that thing was.
Yeah, no, thank you. That helps a lot, actually. And I guess if I want to codify it, my manipulate someone was to get him to calm down and talk to us. And I did have to tell him that I'm worried about my dad, and that my dad works here, which is, you know, something that might be used for evil in the future. So
Yeah.
I look over to the rest, and I go, like, sounds like they all saw the same weird monster thing.
Hock looks around the cafeteria to see if there's anybody like an old timer around, somebody more his age that's been out at the plant or been at the lab for a long time. Do I need to roll to see if I know anybody in there?
Just give me a general plus charm to see what are the chances you know someone.
Okay.
There's not a mechanic, but I'm like, that sounds right.
And that's going to be 12, so I definitely find somebody.
I'm gonna say it's one of the people that you've worked closely with, both officially and unofficially, because someone likes to do like a lot of like yard work, special projects, so he buys stuff from you and also sells stuff that's not needed anymore to you. So
Gotcha.
you see someone you know well, and if you want, you are welcome to name them.
Hock's going to realize y'all got this covered. He has already messed things up. He's just going to get up and walk away and going to go talk to his friend. So I'll wait my turn. Y'all finish doing this, and I'll talk to the friend, or we can bounce back and forth or whatever. But that's what Hock's doing.
you are welcome to RP stuff outside of just regular dice roll things.
Yes, please. Okay, so Hawk stands up and he sees his old friend Charlie register across the way, and he walks over, and Charlie sees him approaching from like halfway across, and they do that weird thing where you like wave, and then you still got a ways to walk before you can start talking. And so they did that. He crosses the cafeteria. He sits down, kind of cattywampus from Charlie. He sits down. And he says, Charlie, I got this zero turn radius kaboot up at the shop. You want to come up here and look at it? I know that yard of yours ain't getting no smaller. And Charlie sort of laughs, and he's like, Hawk, you get all my money anyways. And they kind of have a little chuckle about that. And Hawk says, look, Charlie, anything else? I know you know that thing happened to that girl the other night, but you heard of anything else weird happening out here lately? Anything, any other of these, whatever, big dogs or whatever they got going around out here? And I'm going to use my ability, home ground, because my crew has made a point of keeping the locals happy, keeping them safe, ensuring things always go down okay. When you're back in your old neighborhood, you can always find people who will hide you or help you with a minor favor, no questions asked. And so I feel like if I know this guy and we have like home ground connections, even though we're not on our home ground, asking him for a favor of information, I feel like is a legit question.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that, but I think he will probably ask, what's your interest in this?
He's leaning on the table and he just kind of points over to where the rest of them are, and he shakes his head, and he goes, well, there's some money on the line, and I'd rather have it in my pocket than them idiots.
He looks over at the group, looks back at you. Fair. So, what do you want to know about it?
I was going to say, and for the record, like, Hawk doesn't think y'all are idiots, but he's using the good old boy system to get information out of this fella. He's using the old network, you know? So what was the answer?
He was asking what you wanted to know about it.
Well, it seems like they're describing just like there's like a big-ass dog or something. So, do you know anything else about this? Any other rumors? Anybody else seen anything crazy?
He leans forward so he can talk quieter and have less people here. But he's like, there have been some rumors of, well, you know, there's always been rumors of weird things going on around here. A lot of people think it's because we're messing with the laws of reality, but sometimes science has weird effects. But there have been reports, and I've myself seen something big kind of like moving around in the woods. There was one time, I swear, I was going out to my car and I saw these golden eyes staring at me from the woods for a second. Then it went away. I brushed off as like fireflies, but I've heard other people saw it too. This is the first time anyone's reported being attacked by something, but what Brooke described did sound kind of like what I thought I was seeing.
Was it in the same parking lot?
Yeah.
Oh.
Reports don't happen very often. It's always kind of random.
All right. Well, look, Charlie, you changed your mind about that lawnmower. You probably ought to come on up to the shop. I imagine it's going to sell pretty quick. And he gets up and he gives one of those big old glad-handed handshakes that older gentlemen do, and then walks back to the group.
Get back to you on that, Hawk. Depends on what the missus will let me get away with.
And he laughs as he's walking away.
Alright, so what were the rest of y'all talking about or asking about while he was doing that?
Okay, so I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try and investigate a mystery again.
See how this goes.
Uh-huh. 2. Nope.
When you lean forward to ask your question, you knock his drink over.
Oh.
Oh.
And he just has to scoop back to keep it from spilling all over him. He's like, I'm not sure I can help you all. I'm also not sure. How did you guys get in here?
We asked the guy at the front desk.
Visitor pass. Multi-pass.
I think I'm gonna go take my lunch somewhere else. Y'all have a good day.
You too. I'm so sorry.
Is there anybody else that maybe we could talk to? Is there anybody else that you work with at the same time?
Damn.
I'll let you have another roll to investigate a mystery roll, and if you do well, he might turn around to give an answer.
Okay. Maybe... Do you want to roll these, Penelope? Because you're in the dice tray. Okay. A 12!
Nice.
So what do you get with the 12? For
Everything.
investigate a mystery?
I thought you said it was just if he turns around and answers this question because he's so mad at us.
I think a 12 means she solves it. I think it's all done. We solved the whole mystery. Good job, Nicola.
Oh, yeah. Tell us the whole mystery.
I'll let you have the questions that go with that. That was a really good roll.
It was Damien all along.
Just Damien in a dog suit. He just pulls it up.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it was a 10 plus 2, so 12. It's good.
Yeah.
Either way. So the question that I just asked him is not part of what Investigate a Mystery is.
I think something in how you ask might have him be like, oh, he kind of like comes down, sits down, but he's still like pulled away from the table.
So I feel like I'm pushing my luck. Here we go. I want to ask, what can it do? I'm asking in such a way that I want to know kind of like, was it fat? How did it move? And like when it jumped, like I kind of want to know how it was moving. But my question essentially is, what can it do? So give us little details about like how it moved. Was it really fast? Was it springy? Did it, just little details.
He thinks is like, have you ever seen like a bobcat or a mountain lion? Kind of moved like that. The shape wasn't like that though. There was like something coming off of it. I mean, it was a late shift. I might have been imagining things. I could have sworn it had something coming off of it.
Okay.
Moved kind of like a bobcat or mountain lion, but it was a lot bigger. I'm actually surprised she wasn't more hurt than she was. She was a little scratched up and shaken up, but she was mostly alright.
The other question I want to ask is, what is being concealed here? I want to know if he's like seen anything else, or maybe there's other instances that didn't actually result in somebody getting knocked over. Maybe he saw it going across the parking lot. Like, what else has he seen that he's not telling other people?
How do you go about asking that?
So, I mean, we've gotten, so this is some great information about Creature, and we got a lot of good stuff from Brooke, but it seems a little weird that maybe something just would appear and instantly come after somebody. Like, has there been other instances of where it's like come towards people, but it hasn't actually made contact, so you didn't really like report it?
He glances around and says, there have been a couple of times I swear I've seen something at the edge of the lot or where the lights don't quite cover. Something moving. Some nights will be completely quiet and ordinary, another night I get the feeling like something's watching me. But, some of the stuff scientists do hear, weird things just happen sometimes, so I figured it was like that. It was just a trick of the imagination until it launched itself at Brooke and then just disappeared, and I felt like it was watching me the rest of the night. As far as I can tell, this is the first time it's gone after anybody, but I think I've heard some people, like water cooler talk, thinking that they saw something coming towards them. This is the first time anyone's actually seen this thing up close, though, whatever the hell it is.
Could you give me a couple names of people that you think we should also talk to? That maybe other security guards or things like that? Just the ones you think would be the most helpful.
Most people on the base are going to be kind of quiet about things. And like I said, this is the closest anyone's seen this, and it was just me and Brooke. But I know there are some other people around town that talk about things. There was one scientist here. I don't remember her name, but She quit a couple years back, and I think she now teaches at the community college. And if I remember correctly, it's Pelisabi Community College. That's where Darren goes to school, and he's taken like a science course or two. So
you think we should go talk to that person? Okay, good. I don't have any further questions.
Does anyone else want to try with more questions about things? Or are we just going to take what we got and leave before we get kicked out?
I do want us to, like, in the parking lot, like, make a plan or something. I think that'd be a good idea now that we have a lot more information.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Out of character, I think we should definitely do, like, a stakeout. Like, just hang out in the parking lot and wait.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We're going to have to discuss this in character. Out of character, I did that last question on purpose because I have a move called Contrary. So when I seek out and receive someone's honest advice and ignore it, I get experience and a +1 ongoing.
That's very funny.
While we're investigating. So I was purposely asking for a person and then going to be like, no, it's going to take too fucking long. I don't want to do it.
I gave you that name because I had an idea for how you can do it. But fine.
I mean, other people can, but I'm pretty sure that as long as I ignore the advice, I still get the +1. Anybody else wants to do it?
This investigation's going very well, considering I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've listened to Taz Amnesty. So I don't know how to play this game. Forgotten. I'm bad at it.
I'm trying to leave wiggle room for roleplay, but I'm like, hopefully there will be some in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think so. I really wanted to ask where it went. I guess I could have used luck, but not there yet. My rolls have been bad.
Everyone's rolls have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
The dice gods are against you.
Yeah,
It's possible.
the dice gods are saying, get kicked out.
If you wonder why every time you mention what the creature looks like, I look over this way, I have a model of it.
Oh my god.
We got a new thing in the store. I'm like, this is absolutely what it looks like.
Right on.
When you were describing it, I wrote down big 4 legs, tentacles, question mark.
That's always a good series of descriptions. I'm catching David up on what he's missed, which is you guys haven't gotten kicked out of the lab yet.
Not yet.
We're close. We're getting there.
Not for lack of trying, yeah.
Alright, so y'all are standing in the lab parking lot. Time for a game plan making.
Okay. I've learned a little bit about the monster from some investigating. There's definitely something that's like related to it in the lab, but we also know that it's warning people to try to stay away. So if we just stake out at this parking lot, we can wait and see if anybody shows up, and then if anything does, we can fight it and maybe try to trap it.
Something I forgot to mention is like something about like the flavor of the not right magic fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Felt similar to the remains of whatever you felt that came from deep inside the lab.
Okay.
And it was like rippling outwards.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be as vague as possible, but still like get the information across of like something in that lab has mingled with something old in this like town and has changed it, and so that's why it's like this like weird kind of monster dog, and it's attacking people.
That sounds pretty solid to Hock.
I can't wait to show you guys what this guy looks like.
Oh no.
He's very cute over here. He's watching me. It's only vaguely unsettling.
Oh no.
Oh, while we're standing out in the parking lot, Roz has gotten out her laptop and has like set up her little thing that gives her internet from her phone to her laptop, and she's
Your
like
hotspot.
her hotspot and typing things up and recording everything as people are saying, recording the notes that she took. And I want to put these together and use my one hold from the beginning of the thing for connect the dots.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, when and where will the next critical event occur? So she's like putting it in, and she's like going with the dates of the calendars, and she wants to like put in all her research together and try and see if she can predict when the next, like when we might see, because they said, according to this, they see it some nights, but not all nights. So I want to see that kind of thing.
There's also that professor that we could talk to, that the security guard was talking about.
I don't know if you quite have all the information to be able to predict that, but I can give you the answer when you do.
Okay. And when somebody says, we can talk to the professor, Roz goes, no, that's going to take too long.
What do you mean?
Annabelle, you would probably also know that Darren goes to the same school she works at, so he might know.
Hock looks at Bart and seems like he's got the right idea about, like, we need to, like, just physically be in this space and find out what's going on. But it's still light out, and there's probably enough time.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah. I think we got time to get down to the community college and then come back out here. Hock is also going to, when they get to the community college, empty out the toolbox in his truck, and let's say he has maybe a couple little spots that he likes to stash things in when he's traveling with them. And he wants to, like, get some supplies and possibly some weapons from his shop and hide them before they go back out.
It's a good 20-30 minute drive to get from where the lab is to the community college-ish, something like that.
Okay. Is Hock's shop anywhere near either of these places?
It can be. We've never really decided where his shop is, so if you would like to stop by his shop.
Yeah, I want to stop by his shop on the way through.
Y'all don't know what the professor's name is?
Did we not get the professor's name?
No, he just said someone that used to work here.
It didn't give a specific name, just a science teacher at the community college.
That's why I mentioned the fact that some of you know someone who goes there, so you might be able to text to see if he knows.
Hock is confident that he could ask around and find out.
Oh, I think you're prompting me to text Darren and ask Darren if he knows.
One of you, yeah.
I like whip out my phone. This is getting really fascinating. We're going to go to the community college, but we need, like, the name of, like, the science teacher that worked at the lab. We don't exactly know a name, and it rambles. And, like, so maybe, are you almost done yet? Come on. Kind of deal.
And while she's doing that, Hock looks over at Bart and says, don't worry, we're going to come back here tonight and set up a stakeout.
All right. Sounds good. You seem oddly comfortable with setting up a stakeout. Is that a thing?
Hock sort of laughs and says, kid, I'm oddly comfortable doing just about anything.
Oh, that is unsettling.
And Hock just shakes his head. Yeah, it is. He's not proud about it.
There are ways that can be taken that just all kinds of unsettling and uncomfortable. Just nope.
No, it's mostly the crime way where it's like,
Well, the most logical option, if it attacks here, then this is where we need to be.
Yeah. And you know what? Since I think Hock mentioned, like, needing to get something at the shop, I have to make a stop too. Why don't we all kind of, like, split up and do something related to solving this thing, and then I'll meet back up?
Split the party.
We'll meet up at the science building, because normally, like, I imagine this community college has its own little wing that's just the science wing.
Yeah.
Hock will say, well, let's just, then go do what you need to do. I'll go do what I need to do, and we'll meet up at the science building as soon as we can.
All right.
Can someone drop me off at my house?
Yeah, of course.
I don't drive.
I barely drive, so it's fine.
Hock's already walking to his truck, and he looks back to see if Annabelle's going to follow him.
I'll go with him.
Cool. So they go get in the truck, and Hock is very pleased by this. By the way, like, he wants so hard to believe that this is a truly good and righteous person. Like, he just really, really wants to believe that. And so far, he's got a good feeling about her, and also, God darn it, now he wants to protect everybody, and that is not okay. That is not something that Hock signs up for, but it is what has happened. So they're going to drive by the shop, And when they get there, he's going to unlock the iron bar door and unlock like 4 or 5 locks on the next big, thick wooden door. And as he walks in and flips the lights on, he says, hey, it's a pawn shop. Have a look around. If there's anything you think we need, go ahead and grab it. I'll put it on credit. And he laughs a little bit and goes back to where his office is. And in his office, he's going to open up his safe and pull out a stack of cash. And you can tell me how much it is. This is like a bug out sort of situation for him, I think. So he's going to go in, he's going to pull out a stack of cash, put it in his pocket. He's got a little .22 revolver in there. He's going to make sure it's loaded, grab a box of bullets, put those in his jacket. And he's going to take a sideways look at his shotgun that he keeps right behind the counter for, personal protection. He dislikes the firearms, but he is in a business that he's benefited from having them. So as Annabelle's walking around the shop, he's got the cash and the pistol in his pocket, and he goes back behind the cash register and pulls out the shotgun.
Are we talking about like stack 20s or just random ass stack of cash?
No, it's like a stack of 20s. Like, I just feel like he's the kind of guy that probably has like $1,000 in cash just sitting there, just ready to pick up. You know what I mean? Or maybe more than that, depending on how big he needs to bug out. But I feel like he's got at least $1,000 in 20s, like just in like a band. He's that kind of guy.
I'm like trying to figure out what dice roll.
You can burn all my resources for it. Don't we get like a certain number of resources at the beginning?
No, that's a different game.
God damn it. No.
You don't get to magically create a pen flashlight.
Yeah, I did. That shit was awesome. It was so good. That was laser with an inch wide.
So I'm just gonna roll 3d10 and see what we get from that. Grab it. It adds up to about $283.
$283. All right, cool. Man, he must have dipped in there pretty hard on poker night. So he has.
Are you grabbing all of it, or are you just grabbing like a handful of it?
Well, if it's only $283, goddammit, I'm getting all of it. You can't bug out on half of that. Like, well, I grabbed 140.
I was saying you grab like a handful, and the handful that's what you get.
Oh god!
No, like that's the total.
It's like one of those machines where like the money's blowing around in it, and you're just like.
It's a little money hurricane. You gotta get all the money.
That's right.
The way it pictures, like, you have, like, a couple stacks, you just, like, grab a handful, and that's how much is in it.
And it's the ones. It's the goddamn ones. He grabs $283 exactly, stuffs it in his pocket, and gets his little .22 revolver and the shotgun from behind the counter. And he also, in the meanwhile, has grabbed, like, his jacket, and he's got, like, a few like heavy mag lights and stuff he's just pulled off the shelf. There's a pawn shop, right? So like he's just gonna grab. I'm not gonna try to take advantage of this too much, but I feel like flashlights, flare gun, that sort of thing, them things is just sitting around. And I'll pay the $283 for them if I've got to, because now I've got it.
Do you have to pay yourself for things that you own?
I might. If I destroy them, it fucks up my inventory.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, he's a shop owner.
Well, I mean, stuff gets damaged. You just damage it out of the inventory.
That's true. So he grabs 4 flashlights, a flare gun, and a couple like heavy burlap type bags. Not big bags, but like small bags that you can put just basic gear stuff in. And he grabs a few of those, just some sort of utility things.
Are you just like grabbing like potato sacks, or are you grabbing like backpacks?
No, like a tool belt type situation, like a storage.
You said burlap bag, and I just figured it a regular old like.
Yeah, okay, no, just like a bank sack.
And then carrying it over your shoulder.
It's got a little money bag on it.
Yeah.
Oh no, not even that. I was talking about like those, in the bank robbers that come out with a big old money sack that they've got slung over.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that won't have people questioning where you get your stuff. It's
This
just
is
like
my sack of supplies. What are you talking about?
Nobody questions
He
Hock.
grabs like 3 like heavy duty but rather small gym bags, 4 of those rather, and 4 flashlights and a flare gun and his own weapons and ammunition.
All right.
Annabelle, what are you looking for?
I'm not sure.
He's in the back room. You're just like in the main area of the pawn shop that's got a little bit of everything in it.
I'm trying to think. Here's where Annabelle's mind is right now. She's thinking this creature is trying to warn people, right? So there is potential that it has intelligence, which means you could potentially maybe reason with it. So that's where she's at right now. So, I don't know, she might be looking for, rope, something to tie it up, see if, something to maybe stun it. I don't know. Looking around.
Is there a bear trap in the back or some such, like a snap trap?
I don't want to hurt it.
That would hurt.
It would hurt. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Oh, that'd be painful.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just trying to think of what are we going to pawn shop.
Yeah.
I guess the closest thing for this would be a roll to investigate a mystery. You're trying to find things.
I've been
And
so
I'll
good
help
at
because
that.
it's my shop.
The interior of the store is a mystery.
Oh.
It is.
Aren't all pawn shops
Hell
like that,
yeah.
though?
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah.
I got an 11 minus 1, so it's a 10.
Not bad, so I'll let you decide what you find. As long as it's not too, unreasonable. What do you find? What does Annabelle find to restrain Annabelle?
I'm sorry I did this to you.
I keep squishing the names together.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what would be in there that I could potentially find.
There could be, maybe not, straight up bear traps, but things that the creature's feet could get caught in.
Yes. Or maybe a really thin a rope of some kind that maybe we could trip it or tie it.
Okay.
Or maybe a big light, because it said it was like shadow, and if it's like shadow, maybe if we shine a light on it, it'll freeze.
Like Bigfoot.
Can I also throw out an idea?
Give it to me. I have no idea.
Yes.
Okay, so if this place is there's woods around, which tends to have large animals, I'm thinking maybe out back somebody has dropped off a big old steel cage used for catching wolves and stuff. That's one of those humane traps that the second they step into it, it closes it.
Seals down, yeah.
But I'm thinking it has to be big. And so maybe Hock doesn't know what to do with it. So it's just been sitting out there, and it's just the steel cage big enough for maybe a wolf or something. That. We don't know if it's going to be big enough or not, but I'm thinking that something like that.
Yeah, it's a possibility. There's all kinds of stuff, there's a pack of wild dogs as well as several bears just living in the woods behind my house.
So Hock sees Annabelle not quite knowing what she's looking for, but he sees that she's looking at these little shop lights that are pretty powerful.
I'm actually picturing, because I know there's some photographers and videographers use, they're pretty powerful giant ass flashlights that are bigger than my face.
Yeah, so he sees her looking at these small things. He's like, no, we got to go over here. And he takes her over to, on the other side of that shelf, there's these just giant ass lights that you can prop. They got a tripod. You can prop them up on the ground. They're heavy as shit, though. So, we couldn't carry more than one each. That would be problematic. So Hock's got all this stuff under one arm, and he picks up one of the flashlights with the other, and he gestures at the one that's still sitting on the ground. He goes, you reckon you can get that? And he just goes towards his truck because he knows he wants to drive around back and get that cage.
Yep. I can get it.
Cool. So we go out to the truck. Hock tosses everything in the back. His pistol, he takes out of his back pocket, and he stashes in a cubby underneath the steering wheel, up underneath the dash. And he sticks the shotgun behind the seat in a little, he's almost got a little compartment made for it right behind the seat that it just drops into nicely.
Because that's not sketchy at all.
Look, I'm just saying, if I get in a truck with a dude in my family, it is better than 50% chance that there is a designated gun spot behind the seat. Better than 50%.
That's true.
Fair point.
So we drive around the back, and Hock feels a little foolish about it because he thinks it's not quite big enough, but he does think there's something about it. This idea kind of moves him, remembering that he's got this thing in the back. And he leaves the truck running and hops out, and he says, hey, I think I'm going to need some help getting this thing in the truck because it's not heavy. It's just big and awkward.
All right.
We get it. We load it up in the truck.
I would imagine you also have to take all the other random stuff you have in your trunk out.
I just took a shovel that was back there and just kind of moved everything back under the toolbox. Yeah.
Just don't question the mess that is Hock's life. It's fine.
You don't want to know. There's so many things that he has comfortable doing. It's all right. And so we got the cage in the back of the truck, and he looks over at Annabelle and says, "You got anywhere you want to go before we go to college?"
Let's see. No, I don't think so.
All right. So then they make their way over to the college, and he's looking for that, spray painted van when he gets to the parking lot.
All right. Okay. So back over to Roz and Bart. What are y'all doing while they're off collecting stuff?
Sure. I think Bart stops at his place, which is it's probably like a smallish house that he shares with his grandma because his dad doesn't, or his abuela, because his dad doesn't live there anymore. And he's like, real quick, Roz, I just got to make a stop. You've seen the outside of my place before. I just need to go inside and get some materials and the like. If I scream, come help, because my abuela doesn't really walk in the same circles as I do anymore, and I don't want to put her in trouble.
If you scream?
Yeah, I'm usually pretty good about it, especially if something bad's happening. Just run in and, take out the big knife.
Okay.
What is going on in your house?
I'll just be in the garage. And I think he opens up the garage, and it's definitely that's a place where a kind of burnout-y 26-year-old listens to a bunch of metal music and smokes a bunch of the devil's lettuce. That's definitely where he hangs out. And he kind of pops it open. You can see inside, and it's there's a little tiny TV and probably an N64 plugged in or whatever. And he goes over to the back to a table.
I mean, it's modern day.
No, he specifically sought out an N64.
Fair. That is
Yeah.
fair.
Mhm.
No judgment here.
Yeah.
He looks nervous for a minute. He's like, actually, Ross, if you want to watch, that's fine. You already know I can do magic, so it's just vindicating for you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. And he points you to a beanbag in the corner, and then goes over and sets down on the table this mat of wood basically, and starts drawing a circle and a couple symbols and stuff on it. And I'm gonna roll to use magic because I want to see if I can summon a local nature spirit, of the old magic rather than the weird magic, and see if they know anything about what's going on with the thing that is interacting with the monster over that away. So I'm going to try to summon a less dangerous, it's still dangerous because it's a spirit or whatever, but I'm trying to summon an old magic kind of nature spirit to ask it questions.
Maybe one that's more the size of, less of mountain lion, more of house cat or puppy size.
Squirrel size.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a small breeze, not a
Squirrel
hurricane.
size.
That's what I'm trying to summon.
Gotcha.
So,
Well,
yeah.
roll to use magic.
Here goes.
I almost said let it out. I'm nope, that's a different game.
that is an 8 plus weird.
Okay.
So 8 plus weird puts me at 10, which means my magic works that issue, and I gain my effect, which is summon a monster into the world. So I summon a smaller, more manageable spirit so I can ask it questions.
You summon this.
Oh, it's just a nice little bear.
You don't want to know how many random ass plushies and stuff I have on my desk. It's bad.
Yeah, so this little green spirit formed bear shows up, and then I think Roz, you can see behind Bart. Briefly, his shadow becomes this big horned reptilian creature for 2 seconds, and then it disappears. And then the little bear's in front of me.
At this, Roz also still has her laptop out because she's starting the thing that she needs to do when she gets home.
Mm-hmm.
And at this, she just full slaps the laptop closed and is like, oh my God.
Alien powers.
It's a oh my God, it's a hologram and he's communicating with somebody.
There's this tiny little green bear.
Yeah, I kind of blink and ignore it. But I do turn and I go, don't say your name or my name, actually, while we're doing this.
Okay.
The spirit huffs a little bit, no, you're no fun.
I nod. I'm like, what do you think this is?
Disappointed huff.
Yeah. Hey there, and I do all the polite movements that you would do towards a nature spirit.
It repeats them back to you as well as it can with its stubby little legs.
You'll have to forgive the form that I allowed you to inhabit. Usually I don't want my shit to get wrecked whenever I summon something.
He looks a little miffed, but not offended.
Yeah, I had some questions about the other side right now.
Tilts his head and blinks at you. It's not saying anything, but it understands.
Okay, so recently, something from your side has started hurting people on our side, and they haven't trespassed in the woods. Like, they've just, like, this is something separate from your kind. Oh, or maybe it was part of your group before, but now it's been changed by something. Do you know of any other spirits that have been, like, changed or affected by, like, contact with another source of magic? And I guess that would be investigate a mystery.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, do you get anything with the success beyond it works like it's supposed to?
Yeah, mixed success would just mean that there's a glitch to it.
Cool. Okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember if there's anything else special.
So I got a 7 with my investigative mystery roll. So I got one question, and my question is, do you know of what do you know of a spirit that's been, like, changed by, like, being impacted by, like, another, like, outside-y source of magic?
Thanks for a second. When it responds, you can understand it, but I don't think Roz can.
Okay.
Like, she can tell it's saying something, but she can't make sense of it. And it says,
There's been some strangeness for a long time since they started messing with the fabric, but only one of the Great Protectors has fallen ill. The others tried to get him help, but it's just the one that's trying to protect us.
Okay, so one of the Great Protector spirits has fallen ill.
Yeah.
Okay, so I only get one question, and I don't know how you want to play this, but if I want to go for more questions, there's a chance that it breaks out. I don't know if you like that as a narrative thing.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah, it's up to you, because, like, with the one question, I would probably just normally dismiss it, but I want to throw some risk around, see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. And even though, like, the form is wavering, Bart just kind of focuses in again and, like, takes out the mortar and pestle. And he goes, I need a little more than that. You're a Great Protector. Is there a way that I can heal it? And I don't know if you want me to roll something to see if he answers or not.
I'm just gonna say roll plus charm.
Oh, that's a -1.
Sense. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Oh, okay. I still got a 7. So even an 8 -1. So I got a 7.
Okay. So it's just like...
Stop because of the darkness. It'll be free.
All right. And I release the spell and the little bear disappears.
I think it starts like it's gonna jump at you before it vanishes.
No.
Aww.
I don't even flinch. I'm just like, no, come on, stop that.
Because it's also just like tiny and absolutely adorable, but you know that you don't want that thing getting out.
Yeah.
So, Roz, all you heard was this strange... I imagine it would be terrifying if it wasn't coming from a tiny bear.
Yeah. It's like pitched way up because it's so small.
Oh my god, it sounds so cute.
Vaguely demonic chanting noise, but it sounds like it's on helium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna talk. I might have to bake you like 3 batches of cookies to talk about this later.
You mean the okay. What do you want to know?
I want to know about your communicator.
That was a spell. That was a small binding. I had to draw from the magic of, like, the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't me, like, testing you. Like, this is actual magic to the best that I can explain it. I just want you to know that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a sugar-free Red Bull or something?
Yes.
Okay, here.
If we're gonna be up all night,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some. Okay.
So yeah, Bart goes into a little mini fridge in the garage and then takes out a 6-pack of sugar-free Red Bulls.
I'm kind of tempted to have your abuela poke out the door, but...
Do it. She's...
Would you mind puppeting her, though? Because I feel like that would be more entertaining.
And like me voicing her?
Yeah.
Sure. The door kind of pops open, and it's like, ¿Quién está ahí? And I was like, oh man, it's abuela, es una amiga del trabajo de encontrar los monstruos. And he's like, yeah, like, she's from work. We find the monsters. Like, we've done it. I mean, I've done it before. And my abuela, like, nods, and she's like, ¿Quiere comida? She's like, no, she doesn't want any food. Like, we're good. Like, ¿Estás seguro? And I'm like, no, we're fine. Like, we're about to go. We got to go to, like, the college. And she gets, like, really proud for 2 seconds. She's like, ¿Vas a empezar el college? De verdad? And I'm like, no, I'm not signing up for classes. I'm not. I'm still, but she's like already gone. Like she's already excited. I'm like, oh man, now I'm gonna have to like pretend to sign up for classes.
Aw, I love her.
He just like yells like, "Te amo, abuela," and like as he leaves, like, "Love you," and then he steps out with the 6-pack of Red Bull.
That is more entertaining than what I would have done. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna I'll let you do that, but please do
Sure.
that.
No, it was delightful. I was never planning on ever having to voice my abuela, but that works out great. That's very fun.
Oh my gosh, that was so
That
funny.
was so cute.
Yeah, no, it's very evident that Bart is a huge dork. He just
Nice.
also happens to use magic.
So as we pack up, Roz has back out her laptop, but she needs to go back to her house. So what Roz is doing is she's like, so I've been talking, because I'm trying to find some more information, maybe something that we've seen. So, I've been communicating on the message boards, and I think I found somebody. But my computer at home has more processing power. In order to download these images, I'm going to need more processing power. So I'm trying to I think I found a person that can get us the layout and some satellite photos of the lab.
Okay, yeah, let's go to your house then. That sounds fine.
Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned next week to find out what happens next on Tempus Multae. If you don't want to wait, you can get early access to our episodes over at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. If you like our show, please consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcasting app so people can know where to find us. We couldn't do this without your help. Season 1 of Tempus Multae was made in collaboration with Doug Hawley of Good Better Quest. As a prologue for a show that he will be doing in the future set in Oak Ridge's sister city of Jackson, South Carolina. Brianna Jean is the keeper and producer with editing help from Nikki of Beholder to No One.
I'm Casey, playing Annabelle Joyce, and you can find me on the Aboard the Opal Star podcast.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Tilstra, but today I'll be playing Darren Calloway. I am the Dungeon Master over at From Afar Podcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at From Afar Podcast. You can find myself at David Tilstra on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, this is Doug. I play Hock Bailey. You can find me on Twitter at DougGBQ or on the podcast Good Better Quest.
I'm Ian. I will be playing Bartolomeo, the Spellcaster, and you can find me on the Ballad of the Seven Dice Twitch channel, playing Weary in the Rise of Nyarlathotep campaign.
Hi, I'm Nicola, and I'm playing Rosalind Stollard, aka Roz. You can find me on Twitter at Nicola the Druid, or on Twitch as Druidcraft Productions, where I host Tiny Hut, a weekly show focused on education, advocacy, and charity.
Stay safe out there, dear friends, and always remember things are not as they seem.
Hey everybody, you want a new D&D 5th edition podcast to listen to? Well, I know I'm always looking for one, so guess what? I've got a recommendation for you. It's called Cheaper by the Dungeon. It's a Dungeons & Dragons campaign following the adventures of Zippy, Darian, and Normandy as they travel to become the greatest treasure hunters of all time. We've got some hardcore action.
That's
5,
18 damage, 18 damage,
4,
18 damage.
3, you come through with an 18 damage, you're swinging a
Another
buster
swing,
for...
another swing, that's another 7, it's 17 damage.
2,
17 damage,
17 damage! Comedy? Great. So you want to bet on your friends? What do you want to bet?
Their very lives, I think. As high as it goes. I'm ready to win
What?
today.
Okay. And even some dramatic moments.
You have chosen the path you've sown. Now travel to the depths alone. And with Royce, I grab him and I throw him over the edge.
But most of all, this show is filled to the brim with heart. And we hope that you come and join our adventure and become a cheapskate yourself. You can catch Cheaper by the Dungeon anywhere you get your podcasts. Check us out. Love you!
Alright, yeah, we did it.
More treasure! I gotta find it. It's mine.
Darian, Zippy, that was so good. Wow, I'm amazed. Yeah.